almost 2 years ago, March 13, 2020, that COVID brought the curtain down on Toronto's final performance of the smash hit musical Come From Away. Lockdown followed. Joining me now to look back on a dark year without musical theatre and look forward to tonight's return to the stage of the Royal Alex are cast members Kyle Brown and Cory O'Brien. Fellas, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
You know what? I'm just going to go one at a time so we don't talk all over each other, because that's what I always do. Cory, let's start with you. Some crib notes on your role in the show, returning after 21 months, and also factor in and fold in personal memories of what you were doing on that morning, Tuesday, September 11, 2001.
Oh, Tuesday, September. Oh, back in 9/11. Yeah. Well, in Come From Away, I play police constable Oswald Fudge, Oz Fudge. In Gander, there were only 2 people in the police department, and he was one of 2 people on 9/11. I play a whole bunch. Most people in the show play multiple roles. So I also play a rabbi. I play Mickey, or I play Terry. I play Mr. Michaels. We all play a lot of roles. In 9/11, actually, I had just started theater. I just graduated from the University of Windsor about a year before, and I was in my first big gig ever. I was doing The Sound of Music in Stratford, Ontario. And I remember actually seeing the planes on TV that morning. And at Stratford at the time, for the musical, it would always be a packed house. And in the festival theater, because it's in the round, the audiences come all the way around you. Mm-hmm. And that night, 9/11, you could just see the edges creep in. So whereas a normal theater, it would be from the back would start to disappear if the audiences weren't there. So on stage, you might not even notice. But in the festival theater, because you're looking all around, it's in the round, you could really feel the audience just kind of narrow out. Right. And it stayed like that for the rest of the season, for the next couple months. It was, and we had some American cast members as well that were from New York. And,
wow.
Yeah, it was a crazy time for everyone.
Sure was. Kyle, you get to make your Mervish debut finally as Bob and others in the show. You know, this show has its own momentum, even through the closure. You know, there's all these social sites, fan bases and stuff. You know, Kyle, how have you sort of stayed plugged in to people, places, and things throughout this pandemic? And does all that experience you've had, does that inform your work on the show now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've had to use resources that are at our disposal. So things like social media help me stay connected, help me stay attuned to what was happening in the world. But if I'm honest, I kind of used the time to sort of look inward a lot, to sort of do some work on myself, to sort of think about the world that we lived in, the world that I wanted to see as we came out of this pandemic. And I think that does inform how I approach this role now, thinking about the community that I want to see us have with each other as we come out of this pandemic, which we're still in,
right,
but we're coming out. Yeah.
Cory, you know, this show is a spiritual experience for audiences. What's it like from your perspective, performing it every night?
Well, I have to tell you, I've never been in a show like this before. I've done a lot of shows over the last 20 years, and the first audience we did our pre-opening, our pre-Toronto run was in Winnipeg. And I remember that first night, we had no clue. I had no clue how the audience was going to react. And that very first night, the way the show goes, there's almost no chance for applause because the show just keeps going. It's relentless. And we got to the very end, and all of a sudden that final button of the show, welcome to the Rock. And I have never heard an audience like that in my life. And I said some words on stage out loud that I probably can't repeat on TV right now. Literally out loud on stage, I was like, I was dumbfounded. It is an incredible experience, and actually that reminds me, I can't wait to chat with Kyle after tonight and tomorrow night, especially to see how that experience is for him, because it's an incredible show, and the feedback you get from the audience, the connection you feel with the audience is really tangible. And Kyle touched on the sense of community, and I was thinking about that before we even started chatting. And the show is about a sense of community. And the one thing through the pandemic that has been relentless and coming around nonstop is how the community has to pull together. And I know my neighbors so much better now than I did, pre-pandemic. And I've lived in this house for 10 years,
Right.
The community has come together. And I think it makes the show almost resonate more powerfully now. At least I think it will, than it did even pre-pandemic.
Yeah. The power of theater as therapy. And this show,
Absolutely.
boy, it's like a good couch session for people too. Aside from the amazing entertainment and music, guys, sadly, we're up against the clock. We're going to have to leave it there. But the show opens tonight at the Royal Alex Theatre. Come From Away is back.
Tonight.
Pardon me?
Invited
dress
dress.
tonight.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. If you need tickets, go to mervish.com for that. Guys, stay safe, save the voices, and break both those legs, okay?
Thanks, George.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much.
Kyle and Corey, thanks very much.